I remember when we first started talking, like you had mentioned that collaboration is something that, you do GTM as well. Like you love that about your job. But I'm curious because like, I know you're also, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're still a solo practitioner. Like how do your process still looks the same from how it used to be, or how do you handle clients?
Oh, so it really depends on the client, right? Because
Yeah.
so for example, and this is I didn't even think about that when we were kind of chatting through the previous answer. But yeah, one of my last engagements, we kind of did we started to work on some other things, and then we kind of found a gap in positioning that we were like, okay, it's worth spending some
Yeah.
time there. But then they had engaged with another, you know, person or company to
Mhm.
do like a voice of customer and competitive research for them.
Oh,
And then it was kind of and like then we had to have the conversation
yeah.
that okay, then like until they're done to do their thing, while we're still waiting for the output of that project,
Yeah.
like there's no point in continuing the positioning work. Like we can't just
I
do
agree.
positioning like without this information. This would be like like you can't do it in a void. Like you have to do that. And when you work with maybe smaller teams, or again, like it kind of depends on the type of engagement,
Mm,
where at the end of the day they wanted these 5 deliverables,
yeah.
but it was clear that we have to start to like step zero, I would even say. If you don't know your ICP, we have to figure out your ICP. Then we have to
Yeah.
do competitive research. Then we have to, and like, then we can work on positioning. Then we can work on messaging. And then we can work on like specific assets, like a sales playbook. Sure. Website copy. Yeah, great. Like let's sales talk tracks. Sure. Let's do all of that. But we have to do these things before. So it really depends um, on the clients and like their size, their maturity, how they're structured,
Yeah.
what they already know, right? Like some customers know their ICP already. This is great, like ideal scenario. But yeah, I mean, I especially now, like as a consultant,
Mm,
um, will never ever promise a company to do their positioning and all of that, and like if they don't know their ICP and if they have a
yeah.
huge gap in their competitive research knowledge. It's these things have to happen before.
So when you're picking out like who you're going to help, like I'm guessing it could be either, well, I don't know if this is true. Like, do you approach clients? Usually they approach you, and then you look at basically you assess what's been done. You want that context before you jump into something, or what's the process like? Just so I understand. This is again me being curious, not it's not anything. Like, I'm not
So
trying to
yeah,
catch you on anything.
they mostly reach out to me, or it's by referrals.
Okay.
But yeah, they kind of come to me. Um, they usually have a pretty good understanding of what I do. Like,
Awesome.
when I just got started, I would have, and I wasn't as focused, then yes, I would have clients to kind of, they didn't even know what they wanted. But
Okay.
since I kind of defined what I focus on and what I do, it became like a lot easier
Yeah, you have more
in that
control.
sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then they usually come with specific needs, and then if it's something like we need help with um like positioning, for example, like because we kind of like neglected that part of the business, or we have a new product that we launched a year ago, but like really like we don't like we don't have enough like much of like sales assets or like
Yeah.
process or things like that. um yeah, like I would usually like that would usually be the first thing that I ask them is, do you know your ICP? And then yeah, I mean,
Please, your
I
ICP.
even like on my website, I like it's kind of like when I'm talking about the competitive positioning type of
Yeah.
projects that I do, like that's how it starts. It's like you have to know your ICP, then I come in and we do this and that, right? like
Awesome.
like
Oh my gosh.
these things are a must. Like I'm not gonna promise a client or a potential client that we can get like amazing messaging out to their
Mm,
sales team or on the website. If they don't know any of these things and don't have any interest of finding out, right? If there's a good fit and we do decide to maybe do like a different type of engagement where I help them to gather that, like those insights, then that's fine.
yeah.
But if the final outcome has to be some positioning or messaging asset or anything like that, yeah, like making sure that we have that we're at least aligned, that we, if they don't exist, that we need to figure them out together, is a
Yeah.
must.